Det var I 2001 at jeg var på seiltur. Så tenkte jeg at her står det et vindmølletårn. Men hvis jeg hadde klart å lage det 100 meter høyt, og sette en vindmølle på toppen, og balanserte, så måtte vi kunne klare å lage offshore vindkraft.
Så ble vi veldig opptatt av dette var løsningen jeg tegnet, og vi tok det med videre.
"16 years later, an idea on a napkin has turned into 5 gigantic floating wind turbines off the coast of Scotland. The world's first floating wind farm. To prove the concept of floating wind turbines, we first built a full-scale demo version of the Norwegian west coast.
It was a lot of skepticism back in those days, but we have proven them wrong. The Hywind demo has been producing better than expected and given us valuable information for the further development of the Hywind concept. Offshore wind is a perfect match for a company with long experience and knowledge about developing and operating offshore facilities. Floating turbines can open up new markets. We can go into more windy areas and deeper waters.
Hywind Scotland is testing the concept in a park configuration.
In a year's time or less than that, we will see 5 wind turbines towards the horizon. What we will not see will be the cables that will connect those wind turbines and bring the current that is produced into shore.
All work on land is performed by Scottish company Balfour Beatty. The 5 6-megawatt turbines can provide energy to 20,000 UK homes. The huge suction anchors securing the turbines to the seabed are also produced in Scotland.
We're now looking at the 15 suction anchors located here and constructed here at NIG Energy Park by a global energy group. Design is made by Able in Norway. They are 5 meters in diameter, 16 meters tall. Approximate weight is 111 tons. So it's quite a big amount of steel going on board this technique vessel.
The literally huge difference between a bottom fixed turbine and the Hywind turbine is the floating substructure. These were built by Navantia in Spain.
The structure is over 90 meters long. The biggest diameter is about 14.4 meters, and the weight is approximately 3,500 tons.
The towers were also built in Spain by Navacell.
This is one of the Hywind Scotland tower sections, length 20 meters and the diameter 6.5 meters.
The turbines were assembled at Stord in Norway. One by one, the pieces of the Hywind puzzle arrived.
The turbine has grown from the 2.3 to 6 megawatts from the Hywind demo, and everything else has to be upscaled.
The final pieces to arrive at Stord were the substructures.
After the substructures are appended, they are ballasted with 5,000 tons of iron ore. On the field, each turbine is moored to 3 mooring lines connected to huge suction anchors in the seabed. The real brain of the Hywind concept is the float and motion controller developed by Statoil for a long time. It basically pitches the blades to reduce motion and stabilize the floater and increase the power production.
In any project, and especially in a technology development project, there are challenges.
Technology development and a tight project execution has been a challenge. We have 15 main contracts. Managing the interfaces between contractors has been a challenge. We also have some very special heavy lift operations. But the really challenging part of the project is to lift the fully assembled turbine onto the floating substructure.
Där. Woo!
Over the next days, all the 5 turbines were mated and the preparation for sail away could start. And mid-July, the very first turbine was ready to be towed to Scotland.
It's very exciting to be a part of a project like this, where we have a very new technology, the first in the world actually, when it comes to the first floating wind farm ever. And of course the heavy lifts were the first time, the mating is the first time, so of course it is very exciting to be part of it. When all 5 turbines has arrived the Scottish shelf, we will connect them together into a grid, complete them, do all testing necessary, and we will have a handover to operations this year.
In August, all the 5 turbines were in place at Buchan Deep, off Peterhead.
Well, right now we are on this turbine here, HS1, which was the last turbine to arrive from Stord 2 days ago. Well, to be the operations manager for the Hywind Scotland Pilot Park project is just amazing. And we are working with groundbreaking technology, huge offshore structures, and I think it's safe to say that Statoil, together with its contractors, are really pushing the borders of offshore wind technology here. Well, this is a pilot park with 5 turbines. The next step is, of course, to go bigger and into new areas. And it is also well worth pointing out that we have a technology qualification program, which is a very important part of Hywind Scotland, which will feed in research data into future projects.
We have been able to cut the cost by 60% per megawatt from the Hywind demo to the Hywind Scotland pilot park. We will need subsidies for a while, but as the cost of energy has dropped for bottom fixed wind turbines, there are no reason why this should not be the same for floating wind turbine. I'm very proud and happy for a job well done with excellent HSE results and no serious incidents. We have faced many challenges through the project's execution, which has been solved with the contractors, our partner Mastar and the Scottish governments.